Did you know that in a survey recently conducted by Office Team, they found that 93% of executives admitted to a person's work attire being considered when they were considered for a promotion? Barbara Melanson, Director of Human Resources of a public school district in Charlotte, stated, "Whether you do it consciously or subconsciously, it determines who you promote. If you're looking to get ahead, you should look like you belong to be there." All of us will be taking our spot within the workforce in the next 5 years, and we need to be able to recognize what kind of attire will work for a healthy and productive environment. More importantly, we need to realize just how crucial it is that you look prepared for day one. I believe that attire is one of the most important aspects of work every day, as does Berryman Fink, when they state in Hughes' study, "It is a rare manager who does not realize how appearance affects credibility in the workplace." I have done a lot of research on this topic, and my dad, who is the president of Nebraska Methodist College, claims, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the most important and 10 being the least important, the attire of an employee is a 2 or 3. One thing to keep in mind is that once the employee is hired, their attire not only reflects upon them, but it reflects on the university as a whole. Today, my goal is to persuade you to change a belief about attire in the workplace. I will be sharing with you the potential problems that could come with not being appropriately dressed when you go to work, and more specifically, what repercussions of you not being prepared on day one could be, the reputation you could earn if you don't dress conservatively enough, and why it's important to be prepared even after your first day. Then I will share with you the solutions to these problems in order to show you how important it is that you take attire in the workplace seriously. Now that we have briefly discussed my main points, I will start with the first one and talk about how many possible problems could occur as a result of your attire on day one. The first problem I will be sharing with you today is the reputation you may get if you come unprepared into the workplace. Drawing the line between business casual and too casual is becoming increasingly harder for a lot of businesses and employees. USA Today shares that lab researcher Dan Gruhl usually shows up to work in flip-flops and a t-shirt. While in the definition of business casual for IBM, flip-flops and t-shirts are included, General Motors says that the following items are excluded from their list of business casual: athletic shoes, jeans, tank tops, sweatshirts, or t-shirts. Obviously, the term business casual is confusing a lot of people. So let's take a minute to look at an example. You've just landed your dream job at this place that it's been your dream since you were 5 years old, and the dress code is business casual. So you walk in on your first day dressed in what you think business casual is. But what ends up happening is that you are dressed a lot less professional than everyone else in the office. For example, you're wearing a tank top when everyone else is wearing business jackets. And then in case that isn't enough, you walk into a meeting where everyone on your floor is, and they all see you dressed down when they're all dressed up. And so not only have they already formed an impression of you in their head where they don't really want you on their team, or they think that you're not very prepared to be working in this place, you then realize your manager tells you that you have to split up into different teams. And so then what happens is no one really wants to be on your team because of the bad reputation you've already given yourself because of the clothes that you're wearing. So your reputation is really on the line here. And it's already hard coming into a team of experienced workers and trying to live up to the standards and expectations that they have for you. So not being dressed appropriately is really not going to help you out in this situation. While discussing the topic of too casual versus too professional, we should also address the consequences of not dressing conservatively enough. If you were to appear to work on this same day dressed not conservatively enough, your peer opinions will not be very good about you. And so if you're a girl, for example, and you come dressed in a very low-cut dress and really tall heels, a lot of people, your peers that are women, may think that you're just trying to attract guys, or they won't take you very seriously. And the guys that you work with will also not take you very seriously. One, because it's really hard for women to be taken seriously by men anyway, and if you're dressed like you're not a business professional, they're not going to consider you a business professional. So not only is your reputation on the line with those people that you work with, but it's on the line with the people who you do business with, your clients. On Salary.com, news editor Regina Robo says, especially if you deal directly with customers, the way you express yourself to the world is far more important than the true you, at least while you're on the job. And in the business world, most businesses thrive on their communication with customers and their clients. So if you can't present yourself in a way that shows clients that you are respectable and responsible, you will slowly start losing them. Now that we have discussed the problems that may occur if you're not wearing the appropriate attire, we will discuss how to make sure that this never happens to you. My solution to the previous problems is that you need to be prepared and flexible. Being flexible, for example, is coming to work with an outfit like wearing a collared shirt under a jacket, so that if you are thrown into a meeting where you don't need to be you don't need to be dressed like super professional, you can slip off your jacket and look like you belong with everyone else. But if you're thrown into a meeting where you need to be very professional, then you can keep your jacket on and again match everyone else. Also, being prepared for anything means that you've already survived the first day and it's within like your third month, and you are going to give a speech at 1 o'clock, but you're at lunch at noon and you spill orange juice all over yourself or something like that. And so you have to make sure that you have a backup plan, which includes in your closet at work, you can have like an extra jacket or an extra pair of pants, even an extra pair of shoes in case a heel breaks or something like that, maybe an extra pair of pantyhose in case you get a run, which is a very common thing these days. And so once you are prepared, you have to be able to be flexible with those outfits. So on days that you have big meetings, you need to be able to plan that you should wear black pants, because you know that you have an extra black jacket in your closet at work. You now have the information you need that will lead you to having the tools in the workplace in order to present yourself successfully. In conclusion, I will give you a little review on the problem of attire in the workplace. There is not wearing the correct attire with your reputation on the line, and also the opinions that your peers may form about you if you aren't dressed conservatively enough. And the solution to your problem is always to be prepared and flexible. By presenting you with all of these scenarios and giving you possible solutions to these scenarios, your belief about attire in the workplace is hopefully changed. Using my solutions to the possible problems of not having the correct attire in the workplace, you are sure to be one of the ones who will be best dressed and fit for that promotion in your future work environment. Thank you.
Ooh, you got it. Oh. You can cut it.
Did it go?
It said it